Yes, up goes the flag with the Manx arms on. Down it goes, and number 1 is away. The run, and bump into the saddle, and off he goes. A very nice start indeed, down towards the St. Crossroads.
Back when computers were just a gleam in a mathematician's eye, and manufacturing was equal parts art, science, and mad inspiration, great motorcycles were made. And they're just as great today.
Hi, I'm John Lawless.
Rare vintage bikes may not be John's entire life.
Welcome to the Classic Motorcycle.
But between John and this gentleman, our audience will be introduced to some of the finest bikes they never heard of.
This is the real thing.
And won't soon forget.
You have to change it every time because coming in off the race on the cool down lap and blubbering through the paddock, you foul a plug.
Dick Miles is the show's resident mechanical wizard, and he practices what he preaches.
High speed work. I got enough points to win the championship, so at age 59 I was the national champion.
Not everything new is necessarily better. Much of what we take for granted as state-of-the-art was really developed years ago. We'll learn about great design innovation that's still on the cutting edge. And we'll have fun. This more exotic member of our on-camera team will add her own unique perspective as both rider and adventurer.
Now you're just making it up.
Each week, the Classic Motorcycle will introduce our audience to another fascinating character in the world of classic bikes. But there's much more to our choices. This wonderful collection of rare machines belongs to the renowned photographer Bill Phelps, but he also owns and operates an equally rare restaurant in Brooklyn. Moto is an inspired refuge from the congestion of the city. It's really more of a time machine, like Bill's photographs and bikes.
How old were you when you bought your first motorcycle?
I think I was 18. I was at a barbecue, and across the lawn there was a '79 Triumph that had just arrived to this barbecue. And it was still hot, and it was leaking, and you could smell it, and the smoke was coming off of it, and it was beautiful. And I was like, it was like a cartoon where you just like go floating across the grass.
So how did you get involved with the Harley-Davidson campaign?
We were in a conference call with the boss at Harley, and he said, first of all, we have your printed portfolio of the collection of images that you did in the slideshow, but we have it printed here, and we've been passing it around the office and referring to it as the Holy Grail. He said, it's a beautiful way to remind ourselves why we ride motorcycles.
And, of course, our audience will travel with us to races, shows, and events of all kinds. You will find our cameras wherever there are classic bikes, seeking out the truly unique in both machines and people.
Now, somewhere along life's way in the race, I fell off. That being what it was, the corner worker said when I fell off, you're through. Put it over here. I said, I'm not through, and I pushed it up through the sand in the corner, up to the road, bump started, came back in the pit, got straightened out, and then went on to finish the race.
Why don't you climb on this one and show us how you looked in your race position for that time?
Bob McKeever, 89 years old, raced till he was 85.
Bob, it looks like you still got it.
Just one of the varied subjects the Classic Motorcycle will present. Our thoughtful and insightful shows are produced by people who know bikes and good storytelling. The Classic Motorcycle also plans to seamlessly incorporate product placement wherever it's appropriate, bringing added value to our broadcast partners.
This is a 1937 Excelsior Manxman. And of course, we talked about what is Manx. So in the case of this one, the Manxman was named after the Isle of Man or something from the Isle of Man.
Right, the Excelsior company built these bikes to race on the Isle of Man. and they were very successful, and then they made...
The Classic Motorcycle is produced by motorcycle lovers for motorcycle lovers. All of the principals are involved with bikes in some way. John Lawless has a large and varied collection and races several of them regularly. Dick Miles owns Iron Oxide Racing and is a nationally respected builder of race bikes. Esther Montoro is a motorcycle aficionado, photographer, and journalist. Behind the camera, Ed Buffman has been a commercial director for over 30 years, while after almost 10 years with NBC, Shel Brown spent over 20 years with NFL Films as both director and editor.
I hope you've enjoyed this episode of The Classic Motorcycle.
This powerful ensemble knows bikes and television.
One of the main reasons that I make photographs is that art is alive. The restaurant is a work of art and is open every day, filled with people and filled with food and smells and music, and it too is alive. A motorcycle is also a work of art, and it too is alive and contributes greatly to your life. So all of those things connected, they are my life.